everybody. Welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music. We're going to talk about some different albums and what we think about those albums. Right now we're going through the staff pick list on the consequenceofsound.net. And this week we will be talking about the album The Shape of Punk to Come by The Refused. So I'm Andrew.
And I'm Shane.
Oh, and fair warning, we use coarse language, drink, and say offensive things sometimes. Whatever.
Whatever do you mean, Andrew? You use coarse language? You drink? What? What?
Yeah, so it's a thing.
Is this a new thing?
If you've been present during any of the other episodes we recorded, I would say no. It's not. But yeah, so what's going on, man?
Oh, not a lot. Kind of same. Just here. What's up, Bubba? What about you? Anything new or exciting happening in your life?
Not too much. Well, I guess a few things. I've finished a guitar, so that was pretty cool. It's really pretty. The neck isn't very comfortable, so I'm gonna have to recarve it. It's a fucking baseball bat, and I like thinner necks, so that's a whole thing. Somebody that likes thick necks might like it, but I'm not ready to sell it yet, so there's that. And then Kirsten came up a couple weeks ago, and we stayed in Chicago for the weekend. And we went to we went a few places. We went to the Field Science Museum, Natural History Museum, and that's where they have like the most complete T-Rex skeleton in, I guess, the world, if the United States at least. So that was really cool. We also went to the Leather Archives and Museum, which was really interesting.
Wait, what?
Yeah. This place, it was basically a leather and bondage museum. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Go on.
And, like, a lot of the themes were very much like, gay biker clubs. I guess that's like a big start of, like, this kind of movement, back whenever this started. I don't remember, probably the 60s. So yeah, there was all kinds of interesting exhibits, if you want to call it that. It was a very small museum, right in Chicago. And, yeah, so that was super interesting. There was an 8-pound butt plug, so you can imagine what that might look like.
No, I can't. Describe
oh man,
it to me.
Oh, it was fucking massive. I can text you a picture, but for the
No.
for the viewers,
I want your words. I want you to.
So think of you've seen a butt plug, yes?
No. What does that look like?
Well, it's kind of like a chrome teardrop with a stem that has a flat circle at the bottom of the stem, so that it stops it, I guess, from getting lost in your asshole.
I don't know. Whatever do you mean, Andrew?
So when you stick this thing up your asshole, it plugs up your butt, right? And this thing was apparently an 8-pounder, and it was probably about 5 inches in diameter and about 8 to 10 inches tall. It was fucking massive. So I took pictures of that. I can text it to you, or maybe we'll have our first ever link in the show notes.
Holy shit!
It was wild, and there honestly was like some good art on the walls and stuff like that, along with some fucked up shit. Like there are some fetishes that people are into that I am certainly not, like suspension and stuff like that. And the body mutilation stuff, which I'm just totally not into, like pain and stuff. So if you're into that, cool, but it's not for me.
Yeah, you're kind of a pussy. It's fine.
Yeah, totally. I'm down with like ropes and shit, but or fuzzy handcuffs, whatever. But yeah, there was some stuff that I just wasn't all about. A lot of like gay biker club style art. So I guess that's a big thing. It was interesting. It was interesting. Like real talk, it was super interesting. And if you are an open-minded person, I would actually recommend going just to kind of like learn about some of the culture and where some of this came from. There's even conventions like surrounding it, where they name a Mr. and Miss Leather every year. So, yeah, it's totally got it's totally something that's interesting to do. But yeah, go into it with an open mind.
Right on. That sounds like a good family time.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Take the kids and stuff like that. That's fun.
Yeah. So that was super interesting. That was our weekend in Chicago. We did other stuff, like go to dinner and, but it was fucking cold.
About that, yeah, we talked, about a week ago, and, it was fucking cold up there. Like, real cold.
Yeah.
Like, stupid cold.
Yeah. Yeah. We got down to about minus 20, wind chill of like minus 40 something. And, it was colder in other places of the United States. Like the Minneapolis area was like legit like minus 30, minus 40 with wind chills of like minus 60. But yeah, there's a huge difference between being, in like the teens and then being in fucking minus 20. Like, dude, it's a world of difference. Like it's tolerable. Like I can go out and smoke a cigarette when it's, 18 degrees. It sucks, but it's not like you're not going to die. But when it's minus 20, oh man, that extra 40 degrees. Oh man, like you walk outside and it just hurts to be in that temperature. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, because it was like 40 down here and it was fucking cold. And it was 40, plus 40.
Yeah.
Fuck that, nah.
No, this was, fucking eye-opening. This wasn't when Kirsten was in town. It was in like the teens and stuff. But when it was like minus 20, like they had airports, like they had like the Chicago airport shut down for a while because they couldn't de-ice planes fast enough to get them in the air.
Yeah, I saw that Chicago lit their fucking train tracks on fire to de-ice.
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
Fucking kerosene-soaked ropes laid across those motherfuckers.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, no, but it was fucking cold for me. Like, I get it. Like, y'all used to like cold shit. I get it's like real cold up there. But
motherfucker, I ain't used to shit. This was a eye-opening experience for me.
I did that to be a dick because I know you're damn sure not using that shit.
Oh man. But
yeah, and I know it was a fuckaroo up in the north, and my heart goes out to you. But real talk, I live in Texas for a motherfucking reason. And when it gets 40 down here, that's stupid cold for me.
Yeah.
And if I'm at 40, like I'm used to like 100 all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. When it's 40, it's fucking stupid cold.
Yeah.
So I get it. When you're used to 80 and negative 20, I get it. But holy fuck. But that's holy shit. That's a whole other.
Yeah.
That goes to the fifth level of layer of hell to the sixth layer of hell.
Yeah.
Like when it gets like cold, like that's where all the betrayers and liars and shit go to.
Show is that goat. It was fucked up. So yeah, man. I've had some interesting experiences since we last recorded. I guess it's probably been about a month since we recorded, right? So maybe not, maybe 3 weeks.
It's been a minute.
That's okay though. That's all right. So we'll start catching up on some of this shit. But speaking of catching up on some of this shit, The Refused.
The Refused. Oh yes, this is the album that we will be doing today.
Right.
Refused The Shape of Punk to Come, and A Chemical Abomination in 12 Bursts.
Yeah.
Is the name of the album. And I'm not going to play my hand. Well, I'm going to play my hand. I kind of like this album.
Okay.
It's very different. What I really like about what the list that we've done is that we did a shitty punk album, a true punk album, and then a punk album that looked toward the future, and then tried to do something. What I felt was they tried to make an album for what would this punk sound be in the future, cut to 10, 15 years. I like that idea.
Right. Well, and okay, so first impressions for me were I have a hard time labeling most of the songs on this album as punk. I think it, it's very conceptual, which is a given because of the way you described it. Like, obviously, right? But a lot of these sound a lot more like progressive rock to me than punk rock. Like this, a lot of the songs on this reminded me, honestly, reminded me of like Coheed and Cambria. So
more of like an emo feel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would say emo, because I feel like they're more angsty, which is probably the angsty attitude of this album is probably the most punk thing about it, in my opinion. But it just, I don't know. I guess from like different progressive rock stuff that I've heard, and that's not a huge genre for me, so I haven't heard a whole lot of it, but this just kind of seems to me to fall in line with more of that stuff than like what I think of as punk, which is like Green Day and The Clash, which was a perfect example of what punk, like the roots of fucking punk. And this ventures very far from that in a lot of its songs. However, I will say there are some very punk songs on this album, but to me, they're few and far between of what is like really super punk. So that was my first impression. I enjoyed listening to it. I probably listened to this album 10 or 12 times, since it became, after we did The Clash. So, I have listened to this quite a bit, and, it was enjoyable at that. So it wasn't something that I dreaded putting on whenever I was like, I need to listen to this album again.
So you like this album, yeah? For
the most part. It had its ups and downs for sure, but it had some good songs on it, and and like I said, it wasn't like Pavement where it was like, fuck, I have to listen to this again. It was, like, okay, well, I'm gonna get some good mixed in with some okay, and some that I don't care for, but it's all in all, it's a passing grade for me.
Passing grade, okay. I'll take that. I understand that, but but the idea of this album, which I really feel that because this album was made in like 98.
Yeah.
And the idea was like in the title, it's The Shape of Punk to Come.
Yeah.
A chemical, yeah. So I feel like what they did with this entire album was that they thought to themselves, like, what will punk sound like in 10 years?
Right.
And so I feel like they made different songs and style.
Yeah. They totally attacked a lot of different styles. Which is honestly one of the things I found really enjoyable about this album, was that it was not very one note at all.
And that's what I think that their intention was for this album, was that they were trying to do different. What will be punk to come? Okay, so what sound is going to be punk in cut to 10 years from now? What is the sound of punk? And so that's why they have every song sounding different than the other one. because it was like a shot in the dark. Like, okay, they can, like, punk's gonna be more thrash metal, punk's gonna be more reggae, punk's gonna be more, more singer-songwriter or more jazz influenced. And so they took a shot in the dark for each style of what would punk be like 20 years from now.
Okay.
And they took a shot in the dark for each song just to, like, okay, here's my thought on what punk will be in 20 years. So did they go more reggae? Did they go more, more metal? Did they go more, like kind of jazzy? Did they go more this and that? And that's what each song sounds to me like, is like they're trying to define what punk in the future will be.
Okay, so to that specific goal, how do you think they did? It's now 20 years later, literally, nearly 21, because they released this in October, so it's now 20 and a quarter years later. How do you think they did? Because, they were shooting for what's punk going to sound like in 20 years. Well, it's 20 years later. How did they achieve their goal?
I think they damn sure did.
Yeah? Why do you say that?
I think they, why?
Yeah.
Well, for a number of reasons, mostly because, excuse me.
It's all that semen.
Well,
got all
clots in your throat,
Yeah, it gets all dried up.
No, it coats the throat. No, but they did. I feel like, good Lord, like you cut to, I mean, are we getting into the album? Because if we're going to do that, then we can have a conversation about each song.
Yeah, I was just curious is if you had a quick reason why they achieved their goal. And to be honest, like, I think, from my point of view, like I said, I think this album sounds more prog rock than it, more, prog rock, screamo, teen metal kind of sounding, and I honestly think that you're right. They were successful because that stuff got, especially about 10 years later, around the time, we were in high school and stuff, you start seeing a lot of these bands like Coheed and Cambria, for example. I know they were a little earlier than that, but, you start seeing a lot of these more, a lot of these bands that I think honestly sound like this band. And so, is that punk? Well, not really, but maybe a lot of the roots are there. And another reason I think that this doesn't sound a whole lot like a punk album to me is because when I think of punk again, I think of, like the Green Day and the Clash and stuff, whatever, but I think of simpler songs, and they write a lot of very complex songs here. So that's just another kind of point. But I do think, yes, I think they achieved the goal as well. So
yeah, for sure. Because, the first song, is very thrashy and very, in your face, like, and then you go to the next song, which is more of a surfer rock reggae sound. Well, and then you cut to
let's fucking get into it then. Like, let's start with the first song and go through it. I'm
just okay, all right, yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go to the first song.
This is Worms of the Senses, Faculties of the Skull. So, this song, they come at you with a very, like, alien intro. This alien sounding weird music intro. And to me, it sounds like a super overdriven, oversaturated reverb tank that they've just mixed all the dry guitar sound out of, and it's just the reverb that they have in the mix. And then they come in with that kind of like space laser kind of sound towards the end of the intro, before they go into a very like hard rock riff. So yeah, and then they go into, all the lyrics, and this is a very long song as well. All of the songs on this album are long, as well, or they felt long. Anyway, that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah. Excuse me. This is all, this whole first song is on based on the Ginsberg poem Hell.
Oh, okay.
And the opening line. I mean, this whole band. Okay, so hold up, we didn't do this. This band is from Sweden.
Oh, I did not know that.
And the main dude is from, he played in the International Noise Conspiracy. Long story short, this band is very, very far left.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they do not like, capitalism at all.
Oh, no.
Like,
no.
Even a little bit.
Yeah, they make that very clear.
Yeah. So, like, even the opening line is, I've got a bone to pick and a few to break.
Well, it's I've got a bone to pick with capitalism.
With capitalism.
Like, they straight up come out with it immediately.
And
yeah.
a few to break. Yeah. 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 They are very against, they are very socialist.
Right.
Very, very, very left. And, yeah, so, that's kind of the whole point of the song. The first song is that, is that the whole song is just basically, life is a cycle and then it goes on and it turns into art. I'm reading all my notes and these don't even sound right. I don't know.
Well, I'll just say that I'm not really the lyrics guy, but it was pretty obvious to me that this was, that this whole band, they bring up the theme of anti-capitalism, very left-wing propaganda. Like, they bring it up a lot in this album. A lot.
Yeah, they are very not for capitalism.
Right.
They do not like that at all.
So yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. There's a few lines in here, but the main takeaway is, they've got a bone to pick and a few to break and a bone to pick. And, they come out of it with, taking the first bus out of Coca-Cola City. And then they kind of lead off with the, let's take the first bus out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. So yeah, but it's an interesting song and it's complex. There's a few, it's like verse, chorus kind of structure, and, the riffs are not super simple, and they have an intro and there's like an interlude or like after the outro maybe, where they do some interesting things. The bass player in this band, we'll probably get into it more. The next couple of songs really is where he's more showcased, but the bass player is fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, for sure. He did a hell of a job, for sure.
And I that's probably a decent segue into the next song, which is, Liberation Frequency.
For sure, which is more of like a surfer rock, reggae sound, like...
See, I got more of a Spanish feel from this.
Really?
Yeah, just it was the intro. I could see the reggae thing because it's got the driving bass line. But the acoustic guitar part with the intro, it didn't sound like a nylon string guitar or anything, but it just kind of sounded like something you would hear, it sounded like they had some kind of a Spanish music influence. But I guess that's also kind of, the base of a lot of reggae style also is I guess reggae more mixes a lot of different styles, but Spanish is heavy in influence there as well, along with, some more African sounds and stuff. But,
I felt like it sounded like Police and Thieves.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can see that. For some reason, I got more of a Spanish nod out of it, but honestly, I think you could take it in a lot of different directions. I didn't really get surf at all. So I'm having
it kind of sound like, more like police at the that kind of shit. It sounded like that kind of way.
I can see the connection there, to the reggae. I have a hard time seeing the surf connection, but I can see the connection to reggae for sure.
That's That's what I found. This song has a great build up and an auger. The bass is fun. The bass is fun, real fun in this song.
Yeah. Honestly, the very first time I heard this song, the bass line is so prevalent and driving. It reminded me of Black Sunshine by Rob Zombie. Cause that song opens up with and it's very, it's a very different song, but it just reminded me of the very intro to that song where it's very bass driven. The more I listen to it, the less I get that feel out of it, but it just made me think of that song cause they both have that super heavy bass driving, the song. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's a song I haven't thought about in a long time.
Oh man, it's such a good song. Such a good song. Very different from this song. That song's about a badass Mustang. This song, however, is oh man, it makes me think of fucking pirate radio.
Yep.
And I mean, Liberation Frequency, that's the name of the song, and they're gonna fucking take the radio back for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's that. Yep. They want to fuck the Dan Man, save the empire.
Right.
And they're gonna fucking do whatever they want. The rhythm section is so fucking good on this song.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is though.
So fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. This song's fucking dope. And
I mean, not my number one, but goddamn, it's fucking good.
It is pretty good. And speaking of badass bass lines, we could definitely take that into Deadly Rhythm, which is the next song.
Fuck yes, whoa.
Dude.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the fucking stand-up bass in this song and just like the all-around jazz influence here is just fucking tasty. It's so good. This song, like the last song was like, okay, these guys have a pretty good idea of what they're doing. This song is like, okay, these are fucking musicians. Like these guys are fucking musicians. Yeah, that's what I gotta say about that.
Sorry, I was lighting a cigarette.
I feel you.
Yes, for sure. The jazz piano opening is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They do such a fucking good job. But the entire thought of the song is consumerism is killing people.
Right.
That, consumerism, blah, 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 blah. But goddamn, the jazz heavy, like, it almost sounds like Coltrane or the Seatbelt that did the
oh right, that did all of the music for Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. It's kind of in that vein, which is fun. Which goes back to my kind of theory about this entire album, is that this is how they didn't know what punk would be, so they tried different things.
Yeah,
and now
go ahead.
And now this is like the jazzy style. If punk did jazz, like that makes sense because we're thinking the future. What could punk be? And then I don't know.
Yeah. They're adapting different styles to punk. I'm going to use the term punk loosely. This is a very heavy take on punk when they do punk, but they're very heavy about it. And they scream a lot. But the merging of jazz into this with that kind of like heavy punk scream sound, like man, it's and they don't scream the whole time in this song. I mean, or no, I was thinking of the last song. But man, it's just good. It's just good. Like this is another one of those fuck the capitalist man, pig, whatever, blah 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 blah. That's this whole album. If you want to know about the lyrics of this song, it's fuck the capitalist.
Oh no, the lyrics is
I could give a fuck.
Consumerism is killing people and my.
Yeah, but I mean the whole song. Every one of these songs is very anti-right, pro-left, fuck the man, fuck capitalism, fuck whatever you have to say about, any kind of society about that, whatever. I don't give a fuck about the lyrics. The fucking music here is fucking awesome though, in this song especially.
Yeah. No, you're right, Bubba. Because the music overshadows all other things. Because, I mean, all they're saying is, throughout the entire album, is just, we hate consumerism.
And honestly, I mean, like I said, that attitude is what I would consider the most punk thing about the album is they are the angsty right fucking voice. Like, that's punk. Look at SLC Punk. I mean, that movie kind of, in what do you say? How do you say, puts that movie is a window into kind of like some of the mindsets and some of the common themes in just punk in general.
Kind of the anarchist, kind of socialist kind of style.
Right. And so,
for sure.
I think that's honestly one of the most punk things about this album. The most punk thing about this album is totally the attitude. I just don't care about their message. I care about the music that heavily overshadows the message.
I think that's the whole point of this album, is that, yes, they do have a message that they are very left. And fuck communism, or fuck consumerism and all that kind of shit. But the music is, you're right. The music overshadows what they're saying. For sure.
So, speaking of punk, the next song is Summer Holidays versus Punk Routine, and I think this is the most punk song on this album. As far as the sound of it, the music of it goes.
Yeah, for sure. They're playing for fun versus making a career, like Garageland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like what they do with during their bridges. But I do like a line in the song that rather be forgotten than remembered. Go on.
No. Go ahead. Finish the line.
Rather be forgotten than remembered for being given in.
Yeah. All right. So that is this might be my favorite line in the album. Just because it sticks with you, and it's an interesting line, and I think it's reminiscent of like that teen angsty feelings that like we all get growing up. Like, I'd rather be remembered for fighting the good fight rather than being what's the word? Like everybody else.
Yeah, well, like Kurt Cobain said, I'd rather burn than fade away.
Right. So this was like one of my favorite lines in the album. Not one of my favorite songs on the album, but definitely one of my favorite lyrics.
Okay, real talk. What we need to do now is we need to do like lines of the album. Does that make like we need to pick the favorite lines of the album? Like,
well, this
you
is,
and
I mean, this is the one that I remember the most and that sticks out to me. So
yeah, that's why I
don't want to. We usually do like a top 3 songs, so I don't really want to do like a top 3 lines all on top of that.
I'm just saying line of the album.
Yeah, this is definitely a line of the album for me. And so when you said, I've got a line from this song, I was like, oh, I know exactly what it's, I know it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the music goes here, also totally a very punk theme.
Yeah, I like the bass is really strong, and the slow backward play in the middle.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was really fun. Hey.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're doing like the album and shit like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. Hey, you know what? I got a motherfucking ticket. I got a speeding ticket today, or yesterday.
Oh, that sucks.
It does suck. You know what really sucks? It was in fucking Robstown.
Of course it was in fucking Robstown. That's the only fucking thing that they do there is issue speeding tickets.
But the bitch is, I lost a bet. Or I lost so my registration went out in like 2016. And since then, I thought it would be a cool idea to see how long I can go before I get popped for getting a ticket for my registration being out.
Oh, God damn it.
Turns out, 3 years later, they finally hit me with hey, your registration's out. I was like, yeah, for sure it is.
Fucking.
It's been out for 3 motherfucking years. They finally got me.
Alright, well. Fucking A, Cotton.
Well, I was speeding on top of the fact.
Yeah, well, don't fucking speed in Robstown.
Dog, that shithole town goes to like, it's 75 and then it's 60.
I know it is.
The entire town.
It's the same way in Driscoll, and you don't fucking speed in Driscoll either. You don't fucking speed in those two towns. All they are fucking speed traps.
Yeah, well.
That's why it goes from 75 to 60, is so that they can give people speeding tickets. That's it.
Well, I got caught, goddammit.
Well,
I finally got busted for my registration 3 years later. So
that's your own dumbass fault.
Well, god, I was late for work, motherfucker.
I don't sympathize with that.
No, I'm not looking for sympathy. I just want somebody to say, fuck the police with me.
Oh, I know plenty about that. I know plenty about saying fuck the police.
I did it, but goddamn it, the cops are terrible.
Yep. Well,
that's some bullshit. Real talk. Anyway, where were we?
We were on Brutus Poem number 5.
Poem number 5.
Yeah. Well, we did Summer Holidays. That's the most punk song in this album. It's also like the most fun.
True. Okay, so Brutus Poems number 5.
Yeah.
Man, those ambient bells, industrial sound, son of a bitch. Yeah. I like this song so much.
Yeah. So
it sounded like go on.
Ahead. Okay. So we should explain that this is an instrumental. The only instrumental on the album, and it's very astral sounding, oral. I don't know, fucking spacey. And it is fucking great.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds like Nine Inch Nails and Aphex Twin had a baby. Man. And then they threw a little Kitty V's on top.
This is, no, this isn't the one. This isn't it. No, this is, yeah, it's very, I think this is like, I think you describe it well. I don't know anything about Aphex Twin, but yeah, Nine Inch Nails, there's some vibe there. And it's just very spacey and very, I don't know.
Ambient
and very just fucking pleasant
and
to listen to.
Industrial.
Yeah, but it's just pleasant to listen to.
Yeah, it really is.
It's fucking great.
And so that goes back to my idea of like, this is what punk sounds. So what if punk went classical?
Is it classical though, or is it more industrial?
Well, I mean, it's in the idea that, Metallica is classical.
Yeah, okay.
Heavy metal, but classical.
Yeah, okay. I mean, most metal derives from classical scales, so yeah, I'll give you that, where they kind of mix together some classical elements and some industrial elements and shit like that, so I'll give you that.
You don't have to give it to me. I fucking earned it.
Motherfucker, I will give it to you.
Sir.
I will give it to you like I give you the 8-pound butt plug.
Good, sir. I think I earned the 8-pound butt plug.
Man, damn sure anyone that can fit that up their asshole, damn sure earned it.
Yeah, that's not to say I don't want it. Because I damn sure don't want that. But I earned the trophy of the 8-pound butt plug.
Oh man, I'll have to send you a picture. I won't do it right now because I don't want it to fuck with our Discord connection. But I'll have to send you a picture after we record this. It's wild. Anyway, so Brutus Poem number 5 is beautiful, and I lost it. It was lost on me, because it so gracefully transitions into the next song.
The New Noise.
Yeah, into New Noise. So.
Okay, so New Noise. Fuck it. Alright, let's go into New Noise. What do you think?
I love the fucking intro. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the song is okay. But I like I'll say this. I like the energy, of this song. This was a good song. This song was mostly it had its good parts and it had its okay parts. But I fucking love the intro. I love that the previous song, the previous song's outro basically leads into this song's intro, and then he opens up with the "Can I scream?" and it's like it makes you just kind of want to jump around. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this one.
Yeah. Also, this New Noise has been referenced in fucking every goddamn thing of all time. It was in the new Doom game. It was Tony Hawk. It's the "Can I scream?" and then the "Woo!"
Yeah. I didn't know this
That woo though.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know this was in the new Doom game. I've played that game and I don't remember hearing this song.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back.
The intro, like when you get to the main menu.
Huh. I'll have to. I haven't played it in months. I'll have to reopen it and.
This song has been referenced in like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like I think number 3 or 4. This song has been around for a hot minute, and it's always the "Gotta scream" or the "Woo."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, super high energy. Makes you want to jump around. So yeah. Not the
For sure.
Definitely not the best song in the album. It's far more generic than a lot of the other songs.
For sure, but that's the whole point of the song. Is that the point of the song is that they're tired of the no meaning behind it.
Right.
So that's why they do that's why they do all the.
Yeah.
We dance all the wrong songs. They sang all the right. Yeah, that's why they see it.
Yeah, this is definitely the most poppy song. So it's like probably one of the easiest ones to listen to on this album. It's very easy to just kind of like bob your head along with, and it makes you want to jump around because it's very energetic, and it's very much like if they're going to merge with pop, this is what this song would be. Is where I would go with it.
For sure, and like I said, what they're trying to prove is that they're tired of the same old music with no meaning behind it.
Right.
And so, like, one of the lines in the songs is, "Good frames won't save bad paintings." Right,
okay.
So, it's just, yeah, we're doing a song that sounds like every fucking bullshit song, but it has no depth to it.
Right.
Okay, so, but also, before we move on, I'd like to play a game called What the Fuck Did They Say?
Okay, well, I have the lyrics pulled up, but okay. Which line are you talking about?
The one that gets repeated over and over.
At the very end?
Yeah, at the end.
Okay, I don't know. Okay. I know. Well, I do know because I'm looking at the lyrics, but I was not.
You do know.
Yeah, so I was not listening. If you had asked me this question and I wasn't looking at the lyrics, I wouldn't know what to say to you because to me it wasn't the memorable part of the song. To me, the memorable part of the song was the "Woo," the "Can I Scream," and the "We Danced All the Wrong Songs."
Yeah, okay.
Like those were the three things that were memorable. So I don't know.
For sure.
What did you think they were saying?
That's what I'm going to ask you. Of the 3 things that could be said, was it "Not Guilty," "Thank You, Pete," or "The New Beat"? Again, "Not Guilty," "Thank You, Pete," or "The New Beat"?
Okay, well, I mean, I know what they said because I'm looking at the lyrics. It's "The New Beat." Did you think they were saying "Not Guilty"?
No, I thought they were saying "Thank You, Pete." Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete.
Oh, God damn it. You would.
Well, fuck you. Like,
that's funny. That's fantastic.
I thought they were like, Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete. Well, it goes back to fucking Led Zeppelin.
Oh man,
there was so many things that were said.
That's almost as fucking dumb as getting a speeding ticket in Robstown. All right. Well, I guess it fell flat. Okay.
You're an asshole.
I know. I'm well aware of that, good sir.
Man, fuck you. Fuck that. Like, I had the whole fucking,
Oh man. Yeah, it was a fresh wound, so I had to strike fast.
Cut deep, sir. Cut deep.
Hey man,
But with like Led Zeppelin, when I didn't know what the fuck, I didn't know what the fuck he was saying.
Oh yeah, fuck, I don't remember now.
What was he saying?
I don't fucking remember. I can't even come up with what
my teeth hurt.
Oh,
my teeth hurt. Oh, my teeth hurt.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had that moment where like, oh, my teeth hurt. And I didn't know what the fuck this dude was saying. I was like, hey, thank you, Pete.
All right.
Hey man, whoever the fuck Pete was.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pete. Turns out the new beat.
Yeah. Yep.
And he is not guilty.
Oh, okay. So the next song is the Refused Party Program.
Yep.
Man. The spoken intro sticks out, but I didn't care. I didn't care about his message. Capitalism is indeed organized crime, and we are all the victims. Whatever. And the rest of the song, kind of forgettable in my eyes.
For sure. So my notes are which is fun. He rages in the middle. That's fine. And
yeah.
At the 56 mark, the wobble comes in for a while.
Oh, right.
That's fun.
Okay.
That's fun.
Yeah, I forgot about the wah there. Trying to tie in a little bit of funk.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess he does tie in some wah, which is a fun sound effect. It's really fucking fun to play with, and if you can use it right, man, and I'm sure he does. I just didn't care about this song. Didn't matter to me.
Okay.
Sorry. That's honestly the kind of the middle of this album, like these next couple too. I didn't do much for me.
Yeah. I have very little notes for 7 and 8.
So the next one is what? Protest
song.
Protest
68.
song 68. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, I don't have much to say about this either. It's kind of
the idea is he wants freedom and justice, and at the 2-minute mark, it kind of sounds like Modest Mousy.
Sure, I don't remember. I'm having a hard time remembering the music of this song, which is, for as fucking pumped as we were at the beginning of this album, that's crazy because they're such good musicians, but I just don't remember this song.
I'll still defend the fact that this album is really good. This album
it's a good album. They know how to put together. They know how to compose. Is what I'll say about this group. That's a
well worded way to. They damn sure do.
Yeah, they know how to make art out of the music. I could care less about their message. We live in a capitalist society, if you want to call it that anymore. So I don't really care. I've gotten a good life out of this living in this country, so I'm cool with it. I'm here nor there on their political message. But yeah, they can write fucking music like crazy good. And this middle of the album just kind of falls apart for me. It's just kind of forgettable.
Yeah, for sure. But then they pick it back up. It refused or fucking dead at number 9.
I guess. This one isn't this isn't up at the top for me either. Maybe my ears are just starting to get tired at this point in the album, and I'm just starting to not pay attention as much, and maybe that's what it is.
Maybe, but it starts as a undulated opening, and when the drums kick in, is well placed, and they have that hypnotic guitar rhythm.
Okay.
Almost like Egyptian or like Middle Eastern kind of thing.
Okay.
And they had that fun wah-wah that shows up.
Yeah. Okay.
And at the end, they had that industrial sound that comes back.
All right. I'm gonna have to agree with you because I don't know. Again, I just don't remember. Sorry, audience. I don't. This is where my memory starts to fall apart. It comes back at the end. But these.
But I mean that.
But between New Noise and Tannhauser, my memory just kind of fades out.
Okay.
I will say The Shape of Punk to Come, which is the next song, is a little more memorable for me than Protest and Refused or Fucking Dead.
Yeah, because The Shape of Punk to Come, that's a punk song full of piss and fucking vinegar with no fucking outlet.
It sure is. It sure the fuck is.
I mean, it reminds me kind of like Queens of the Stone Age or something. Somebody who's fucking raging out, I'm fucking making a message.
Right. So this is where my memory starts to come back, and I have I don't remember this song in great detail, but some of these lyrics are jumping out at me we're all dressed up, we got nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, yeah.
Right. We're all dressed up, got nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then it has that fun slowdown in the middle, and then it picks up.
Right.
So
this was one that started to grab my attention again. And yeah, it is just a knockdown, drag out punk song, almost like a punk thrash song.
For sure. And it sounds it almost sounds like, what's that Clash song with the burning, shit's burning.
Oh, London's burning. That one?
Kind of in that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of in that vein. That makes sense.
Yeah, I could see that.
When they were because the idea of the song is that they're full of piss and vinegar and have nothing to do. It's not London's burning. It's the one after London's burning. Oh no, it might be.
Well, London's burning is just the song that's just all about having a good fucking time on the town because they that's what they have to do on on their time off or whatever.
Exactly. This is the punk song.
Yeah.
Piss and vinegar. No. Yeah. So they're fucking.
Yeah.
This is.
I can totally see that. Yeah. That's where that would be a connect for me as well. Yeah. This is, although this is much more. This is heavier. As far as just the sound. The sound itself goes. But the Refused as a whole is so much heavier with their sound than somebody like the Clash. Sure. The Clash is fucking Brit punk at its core, to its core. That's what they are. They are the epitome of fucking British punk, which was great. That was a good sound. And just all around, fucking, just all the way around, these guys, not only do they know how to compose a great fucking, a piece of music, but man, they fucking dial in the sounds of their instruments, to really fit the themes and the styles of music they're going for. When they're trying to bring in some jazz, they've got some fucking jazzy fucking sounds there. They've rolled off the tone a little bit and fattened up the guitars, and they've got that fucking stand-up bass kind of sound, and it's just fucking, man, they're out and out great fucking musicians. Shape of Punk to Come is just a fucking punk song for punk song sake, I guess.
For sure. And it reminds me, all the old punk, the punk we've listened to, punk for punk's sake. For sure. That's that. But they do it in they do it better. They do it in the style of the punk for punk being punk. You know? Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, for this song, I think you've pretty much nailed it. I have a little bit differing opinion on the band as a whole with part of that statement, but we can get into it when we're wrapping it up. But yeah, this is very much that. So
Okay.
the next song is Ton Halsa, or however the fuck you say it.
And yes.
This made me think of like Nordic themes, like fucking. This made me think of like Vikings and shit. With the style of music and like I don't know it's hard to describe. But the way the type of sounds they achieve here, and the way they structure the song and the types of chords and shit that they're playing, made me very much think of Nordic themes, which in the name of Tannhausa, they're from Sweden, so that's kind of that Celtic Nordic area. So that's where they're from, and this is like definitely bringing to light some of those kinds of sounds, at least to me. I could be totally fucking off base there. What did you think?
Well,
you can have a totally different opinion. It's fine.
I do, and it's going to be heavy. So Tannhauser is an opera.
Right.
It's an opera about living, about the burden of living in Luxembourg.
In what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. The burden of living in what?
It's an opera about living in the burden of living in like a bad place, like in a place.
Okay.
Like a role of a place, like Luxembourg or shit. My notes say opera about living the burden of living in LUST.
So lust.
What the fuck that means? Luxembourg.
Or what about just lust?
That's what it is. Thank you, Andrew. Yes. Yes.
Sexual desire.
Yes. Yes. That's what it is. That's exactly. You know what? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. My man.
Boredom won't get me tonight. I need some pussy.
No. My man. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
No. Tannhauser is now, no. Holy crap. Okay, so Tannhauser is the idea that the man, he's like a duke or some shit that lives in lust, and his life is empty.
Yeah. Okay, so his life is totally fucking empty. He just wants to go fuck, because that's what's there.
Yeah, but it's kind of him like looking at himself like, why? Like, I'm tired of just fucking everything. What is the point of life, kind of thing.
Okay.
Sort of like Great Gatsby kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then Derivi is looking at a system and upsetting that ecosystem.
All right.
Tannhauser is, think of like the Great Gatsby.
Okay, so Tannhauser is he's bored with his life. There should be something more, and Derivi is turning the tables and
is think of like the 1920s, like when everybody was happy and shit, and then
so he wants to go from being bored with his life to finding a new lease on life, finding a new way to look at things and be happy. I don't fucking know.
It's a two-part system. It's Tannhauser is he's tired of living in excess.
Okay.
And then Derivi is, how do we change that system that dude is living in?
Okay, that's fine. The music behind the lyrics here are fucking great. Great fucking song.
It really is. It really is. And it's a kind of, this whole fucking song is more of like, it's the idea of kind of.
I don't know what the idea is behind it, but it's one of like the least punky songs on this album.
It absolutely is.
It's fucking beautiful. It's like that instrumental.
Beautiful.
It's fucking beautiful.
The fucking violin that opens it up.
Yes, dude.
Man, and then it slow builds into a raging song.
I know. And
then it slows down again. Son of a bitch.
This song just fucking. This song makes you feel things. I didn't know what was really going on with the lyrics, but fuck, the music just makes you feel things. It's so good.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like the music does is explain this idea about between Tannhäuser and Derivé is that the empty life of the lustful man who has nothing, like he has seen everything, but he aspires to nothing.
Okay.
You know, and then the Derivé that looks to a system like you're rich and happy, but feel nothing inside.
Okay.
But so if you feel nothing inside being rich and happy, why don't we just tear down the system and then try to do something different?
Okay. All right. So going along with the revolution theme again.
Again with fucking hard left.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Yeah. But fuck, this was a beautiful song. It was fucking gorgeous.
This song is fucking amazing. Real talk, number one on this album.
Yeah, me too.
Number one.
I agree with that statement. It is the best song on this album for me.
For sure.
And again, I still feel, I mean, to me, it felt very Nordic or Celtic, in its musical themes. Maybe the violin had a lot to do with that. But yeah, this was my number one as well.
Oh, for sure.
There is one more song on the album. It's called "The Apollo Program Was a Hoax." This was the worst song for me.
The slow ballad. It was pretty.
I didn't care. I didn't think it was that pretty either. This is where we're gonna disagree then, because I thought it was kind of fucking useless. I mean, yeah, okay, go along with your leftist propaganda shit. Again, I don't care. I don't care about your message. And it's not like I'm a super right wing person. I'm kind of right down the middle.
No, for sure. But
I just don't care about political messages in music, to be perfectly honest. This song was, I didn't care about the music either, if I'm being perfectly honest. I thought it was another meh song and forgettable, and I didn't like it. I actively disliked this one.
It was the outro, yeah?
Yeah. I just actively disliked pretty much everything about it.
Okay. What did you think about the album as
well, I mean, you're very much free to talk about the Apollo program, because you said you thought it was a pretty song. I just talked over you, so I apologize.
Oh no, it's a pretty song. It's pretty, but that's about it.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like a goddamn. It really sounds like some Russian or Western European or Eastern European like you know when like in New Orleans when they have the god damn it words.
I don't know. There's a lot of shit in New Orleans.
When they have the like New Orleans funerals.
Okay, I've never been to a New Orleans funeral, but okay, it's like they celebrate in procession through the street and shit.
I felt like that would be that for like an Eastern European country.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
Maybe.
It's like a funeral procession for like Eastern European people.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
Like, cause like in New Orleans they have the the sad jazz songs and the parade through the choir and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they have the sad song, happy song, sad song, happy song, sad song, happy song.
Yeah. I don't know. After the third or fourth time listening to this album, I I stopped listening to this song because I just didn't like it.
I didn't like it either. I didn't like it either.
It turned me off, and I was like, I'd rather end on Tannhauser, which is the best fucking song on this album.
It really is, though.
And then listen to this kind of shitty song afterwards, because like I'd just rather go back to the first song, or switch over to like, I don't know, I listened to some Clapton this weekend because I just felt like it, as well, and just because I hadn't heard some Clapton in a while. But yeah, anyway, all right, now, sorry, but yeah, so what's your, let's get back into what you were saying beforehand. What's your overall on this album?
I feel like this whole album is like I said at the beginning, this album is about that they were forward thinking into punk.
Right.
And they made different moves to make the idea that what would be punk in the future.
Right.
And they wrote different songs to accommodate to that.
Okay.
I mean, cause this was in 98. So in 10 years, what would punk sound like?
Right.
So they do a ska version. They do different versions of they hit all the different things in
okay.
What punk would be like.
All right. Yeah, and I think they were successful with that, but again, I think these guys are amazing musicians. As far as punk is concerned, you know, I haven't listened to any of their other stuff, so I can't make a judgment call about any of their other albums. But I think there are, if you want quintessential punk, this is not the album for you. I think there are better punk albums out there for punk's sake, and I think there are artists that have done, and maybe these guys have done too. I don't know, as I don't know the rest of their catalog, but I think there are people that have done punk for the purpose of punk better. However, that being said, these people are some of the best musicians we have listened to on this list. These people know how to organize music and know how to play these instruments and know how to write songs that are, well, not lyrically, but write music that is fucking moving and just absolutely gorgeous. So if you want something that's got an air of like some hard punk, but also does a lot of themes musically well, with a very heavy leftist lyric base, this is a great fucking album. Overall, out of 10, what do you give this?
I'm gonna give this a 9.
Damn, yeah. Dog.
Yeah, a 9 because I'm gonna give it a 9.
Damn, dog.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The middle of this album and the last song just kind of bled out for me. So I gotta go like, I don't know, 6.5, 7, somewhere around there. That being said, Tannhauser, 10 of 10. Fucking awesome. Amazing song.
For sure. And I understand why you give it a 7.
What are your top 3 songs? We already went over what the best song is, so what is your 2 and 3?
Worms.
Okay.
Worms is the opening song.
Yep,
and
good
then,
song.
Just 1 second. My legal pad. And then, Bruce Poem number 5.
Okay. All right. We are really close. Really fucking close. My number 2 is Brutus Poem, and my number 3 is Deadly Rhythm. So,
okay.
And Worms, great fucking song, but, I think Deadly Rhythm, edges it out.
For sure. I mean, it's a great song. I think what we disagree on is that, I feel like I understand, like, this album was made in 98, and that they thought they were more forward thinking in what would happen with music in 15 years.
I would agree with that statement. My whole point was I just think there's better punk if you're looking for punk specifically.
for Punk Pure, but for Punk Pure, for sure. But the album is The Shape of Punk to Come.
Yeah, and for a concept album, they did a bang up job. Like I said, these are fucking masterful musicians. Whoever is behind the writing and composition of the music itself is genius. Like they're fan-fucking-tastic. For the most part, they did write some forgettable songs there in the middle, but yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Really, so like when I first thought of this album at the beginning, I first felt that each song was an expectation of how punk would be defined in the sound in the next 15 years.
I got
each
that.
Each song is an example of how different styles and hypotheses of how the trends could and would change the sounds of punk in the future.
Yeah,
I think is they gave birth to emo.
Okay.
Like the emo sound.
Okay. Yeah, I could see I could see this being a huge influence on a lot of those bands.
And so, I don't know. Yeah, the thing is, this album is fucking way better than the last 3 punk albums we listened to.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're looking for punk in its pure form, I think The Clash was a great pick. But I would agree that this as music is better. Like, this is better music. And Pavement was just hot fucking garbage.
Pavement was so good. It was amazing.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah,
oh my God, it was so great.
Go listen to your own opinions about that. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good place to wrap up the album.
Yeah.
There is
Refused. Go on.
No. Go ahead.
No, Refused is I like how the Consequences Sound placed these albums in order. That they went with shitty punk, then to true punk, and then what happens next.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I like how they did that.
Yeah, and I see that.
Because I do like Refused a lot more than I thought I would.
Me too.
And I really don't like the shitty band that we don't speak of anymore.
Yeah, no, this album makes me want to look into more of their stuff for sure, because they are just such good musicians.
Yeah, and they did a hell of a job.
That being said, I haven't looked into any more of their stuff because I wanted to keep listening to this album to really get my bearings for this episode. And I feel like this is one of the albums that I've had really a lot more to say than some of the other ones because I've listened to it so goddamn much.
Yeah, and I liked it, and anyway.
Okay, there's go ahead.
I was just gonna say, next album is gonna be Paul's Boutique, which I'm fucking waiting for.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. So there's a few more things.
Go on.
One, I want to follow up with something from the Coheed episode. You asked me to listen to their second album, and then tell you which I preferred between the first and second.
Between
Second Stage and whatever the second album was.
And Keeping Secrets.
Yeah. Okay. So on In Keeping Secrets, I did hear the first song that I recognized that I had heard before, which was, I don't remember the name of the song.
First song.
No. It was towards the end of the album. I don't remember the name of the song. It was,
Camber Inforium.
Maybe. There's a line that stuck out to me that I remember hearing, a time before. Regardless, that's not the point of the statement. The point of the statement was I liked Second Stage Turbine Blade better, than the second album.
You like the first album over the second album.
I did. I thought the music was a little darker in not necessarily the lyrics. I mean, maybe the lyrics. I don't know. I have a hard time understanding his actual lyrics, but I thought that the musical themes themselves had darker tones. Maybe I'm not remembering that correctly, but I just enjoyed Second Stage more. I felt
like.
Yeah. So I just wanted to follow up with that. The second album,
man.
The second album wasn't a bad album. I still enjoyed listening to it, but I preferred the first album. So I just wanted to follow up with that.
Hell yes, bro.
There is one other thing that I really want to do that I think is going to make this album a little bit long in the tooth, but I want to do it because we are coming up on, we've been doing this for about a year. In fact, today that we are recording this on February 7th. The first episode we published was February 10th of last year. So I want to get into a little bit of a 1 year thing, but I really got to take a piss first. So I'm going to go take a piss and grab another beer. I'll be right back.
You're the fucking worst.
Oh, I know it. Okay. So, since we've been doing this for about a year, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. I want to keep it kind of quick. I don't want to do a whole, year in review episode or anything like that. Unless for some reason you want to do that, we totally can, but, that'll be for another day. But I just,
excuse me. Go on.
I don't know. I just thought we could do it real quick. So one of my questions is, what was your favorite episode to record?
My favorite episode to record?
Yeah. Which episode did you have the most fun recording on?
I've got two.
Okay.
My two favorite was the moon in Antarctica.
Okay.
Because it was such a clusterfuck.
Yep.
And my number two was Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. What was yours?
Okay. So I don't know. There's I guess if you get two, I'm going to have to take two also. So one of my favorite episodes was before we started doing music was Human versus AI when we were still doing philosophy.
The all yelling.
Oh yeah, the all yelling one, dude. It was so good. It was so much fun. Just because, because we both got really into taking the sides that we took, and I don't know, I see it from both sides. I see the good and the bad, but I took the good side, you took the bad side, and we had such good arguments, and we were able to kind of play off of each other really well and find holes in each other's arguments. So I thought that was a lot of fun. Even though the philosophy thing didn't work out. One of my other really fun ones was when we had Kyle Collins on, because Thank You Scientist was such a good album.
Thank You Scientist, yes.
He's on top of that, Kyle's a great dude and he's a really fun personality. But that fucking album just, dude, it hit me sideways. And so getting to talk about something that fucking blew my goddamn mind, with somebody who was so passionate about it, and the fact that it also caught you off guard and fucking you really enjoyed it just like I did, man, that was so much fun. So
agreed. That, he fucking came in with he said, "Hey, listen to this album." I was like, holy shit, that album fucked me up like Percocet.
Yeah, dude.
I was really, that shit really impressed me. And yes. That, he suggested a really good album that I wasn't ready for.
Right.
And then when I really listened to it, I was like, holy shit, this album is amazing.
Yeah, it was wild. So that being said, what was your favorite album this year from the list?
From the list?
Right, because we've done a couple of our own favorite albums, so I want to say let's say those don't count. Because I could be like, well, Texas Flood, because I can listen to that fucking all the time, but that's not, on the list.
Yeah. But what from the list of the things that we've done,
from the top
sure,
100 list is what I meant by that.
For sure. Damn, I'm gonna have to go with the Talking Heads.
Really?
Yeah.
The Fear of Music? Is that one? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fear of Music.
Okay.
That's kind of my favorite.
Interesting.
It's stuck in my head. Zimbra. I don't know, man.
All right.
It was one of those bands that I didn't like it going, but I trained myself to like them.
Right.
To do an episode about.
Okay.
But now, even today, I think I fucking Zimbra.
All right.
And yeah. So Talking Heads.
All right. Man. All right. I like your answer.
What about you, Bubba?
Well, man, this album today was a contender because
shit! Wait, I want to resist. I want to go Kanye.
This album today was if you want to go Kanye, but
I do want to go Kanye.
Okay, well,
no, I'm not gonna go. No, I'm not. I stick with I stick with Talking Heads because I didn't like them. I had a real aversion toward them.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do that album, but I listened to it so long that they kind of turned me.
Okay. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and also exclude Physical Graffiti because that's the easy cop out answer for me.
Yeah. I'm going to nope the fuck out of that for sure. If you were to say Physical Graffiti,
so I don't know. Man, this is a really tough thing for me to decide. Like, Kill 'Em All, okay, it's classic Metallica, but honestly, it's far from my favorite Metallica. So I'm not going to say it's my favorite off of this list so far.
And far from a good album.
I think it's a pretty good album. I think it's good, but
it's fine. It's fine.
I think it's great for being their first studio album. But regardless, cause it's thrash metal for thrash metal's sake, and I like that. And I like some of the songs on it, like Seek and Destroy is, man. But I'm not gonna say that.
Moving on.
This album is a contender just because it was so different. Even though I don't necessarily think it was the best album that we've listened to so far, it might be one of the most fun, but I don't know if I can pick it. It might be, but for the same reasons, Mothership Connection is in contention for that.
Words.
But man, in all honesty, it's probably what you forgot about, and it's probably the Beck album, Midnight Vulture.
Beck, god damn it! Fuck!
Yeah.
I forgot about Beck.
Man.
Fuck, no. Beck number one. Hands down.
Yeah, but
Hands down, Beck.
But I have to nope the fuck out of that with you for Beck. Just the same way that I can't say Physical Graffiti, you can't say Beck.
I can't say Beck.
So you're gonna have to stick with purple. God damn it, Fear of Music, Talking Heads.
Fear of Music, yeah, they surprised me.
And I wasn't as familiar with Beck as you were. I had heard some of these songs, but I had never heard Deborah before this album. And for that song alone, this album fucking has to be the best on this list so far. Because
and don't forget the rapiest song. That's also an Andrew.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna go with Beck, with a close second being Mothership Connection and the album we did today. The album we did today and Mothership Connection are going to be my tied for second place.
I forgot about P-Funk, motherfucker.
Man, P-Funk. Like,
P-Funk, motherfucker.
If we're going to talk about the best music on this list that I had, from artists I had never fucking heard of, P-Funk takes the cake.
Hands down. Hands down.
Because
absolutely.
I hadn't ever gotten into Refuse, but I had heard of them. And like, I'm not super familiar with Beck, but I know who the fuck Beck is. You know, so for artists I've never heard of before, P-Funk fucking takes it. Such a good album. Such a good album. So with that being said, what was your least favorite episode to record?
To record?
Yeah.
Define your argument. Was it?
What was the episode that we recorded that you had the least fun doing?
Fucking the last one we did. The fucking
the Clash?
Shitty.
Thick Freakness?
No, not the Clash. No, not the no.
Pavement?
Pavement.
Yeah.
Pavement. God, I hate Pavement.
Okay, so that is definitely going to take my number one worst album we've done so far, both on the list and not on the list. But it's not to record.
But yeah, absolutely.
We've made it very clear that Pavement's the worst album we've ever listened to.
For sure.
But the worst one to record is not Pavement for me.
To record.
Right.
Oh god, Bedlam and Goliath.
Bedlam and Goliath was a pain in the ass.
To record?
Yeah. Bedlam and Goliath was difficult to record. For me, the most pain in the ass to record for me is Either Or.
Fuck, Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot.
Elliot. That one fucking,
Elliot.
Or was maybe it wasn't. Was that the one where we had to do it in two parts? Where we had to come back the next day? Because my fucking computer crashed? No, because the computer crash wasn't that bad. We didn't keep dropping out. Elliot, we kept dropping the fuck out. Like, we had to
kept dropping out.
We had to restart that call like 5 fucking times.
Every fucking minute. Yeah.
By the time we were done recording it, I was so fucking over recording. I was done.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the worst to record. We both know that Pavement's the worst album that's ever existed.
And if you and sweet listener,
if you're a Pavement fan, you can go fuck yourself. I'm sorry, that you just don't have any good taste in music.
Andrew says it loud. However, if you're a fan of Pavement, you're the worst fucking person of all time.
I want to hear your argument. I want to hear how fucking dumb you are. I really do.
Yeah. Come at me. Come at me. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Listeners, disregard what the fuck this dumb shit said. Come at me if you ready for defend Pavement. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey man,
come at me.
I gotta give you the medal of commendation for at least trying to find positives in that. You gave it a shot, but there was just nothing there.
We don't speak about Pavement. We don't speak about that anymore.
Do you remember what our very first episode was?
Our very first episode was the hero's journey.
It sure was.
Hero's journey.
We were awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Still are, but I feel like we've warmed up a bit.
I think we've we're still awkward fucktards, so no, we've gotten nowhere.
I think I feel like more comfortable.
I feel like we've gotten more comfortable, and that's fine.
We have a new logo that's pretty fucking sick.
Pretty sick?
Yeah, it's legit as fuck. And we got some badass polo shirts that I'm planning. Motherfucking
bitch, our new logo bomb as fuck.
I know it is.
We'll talk. Our new Sad Panda logo is fucking amazing.
Yeah. So thank you again, to you, my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, sexy lady, Kirsten, for designing that for us. It's sick as fuck. You better fucking bring your shirt to, Tadpog Prom, cause, I want to wear matching, logo shirts one day.
Hell yes, Will.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring that. I don't understand why everybody thinks that I'm a medium.
Oh, did she get you a medium?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I could have sworn, I didn't know she was getting us those, but I could have sworn she asked me what size shirt you wear. And I know you're a fucking small, like.
Why the fuck does it
I don't know.
think that I'm a medium?
I don't know. I don't know why anybody
makes no sense to me.
Yeah, anybody that's ever met you should immediately go, yep, he's a small. Like.
Nobody. Real talk. Anybody out there? I'm a small.
Yeah.
I'm a tiny man.
She got me right. I'm a medium, but yeah, you're not the same size. So.
No, I'm not. But my sister, I've had a lot of, everybody buys me a medium and I don't understand it.
Man, I don't know.
You've seen me. Like, I'm a little man. I'm a tiny man. Tiny man.
Yeah. So yeah. Speaking of Tadpog Prom, I don't know if this will come out before then, but, if it does, we hope to see you there if you listen to this. Because if you listen to this, you probably already listened to Tadpog. So we'll be there, and those guys are fucking great. So yeah, that's gonna be a fucking blast.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of ready to close it up if you are.
Yeah, I mean, bullshitting for like 20 minutes. Can you shut the fuck down?
Yeah, thanks for listening to us, guys. You know where to find us. Website, sadpandapresents.com, Facebook, I don't know, Stitcher, iTunes, whatever. Fucking hit us up. Talk to us. Tell us what shitty music you want us to listen to. Tell us why Pavement is not the worst band on the planet. Fucking tell us what your favorite fucking album is and we'll review it. We've got a couple that we need to review. We still need to get shit together and do that, but we were trying to fucking figure out our schedules and the new year was fucking crazy for both of us and blah, blah, blah. Thanks for fucking listening. And fucking hit us up. Shane, you got anything else?
Yes, I do. We got hit up by our boy Caleb Motley. We're about to listen to the Stitches album.
Yep.
Which I'm okay with.
Yep. Oh, we also got hit up by Kyle again to do a crossover episode with the Experience Grind guys. Because Ryan has never listened to, Marilyn Manson and wants to do, the Mechanical Animals. I think that's the name of the album.
Yeah.
So we will be doing that. We just needed to get our own shit together first before we agreed to that. So that's something to look forward to as well. And yeah, we're going to be doing this fucking Scissors album that Caleb suggested. Thanks, buddy. I like it. Man.
What?
No. This is not sarcastic. Thank you for recommending this album. It's going to be a really fucking fun episode, to do.
Yeah.
And I will,
you hear the love voice, right?
What's that?
You hear the love in that voice, right?
I have a what?
You hear the love in his voice.
Oh, yeah. So, oh man. Okay, so
one of us likes it more than the other.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this album, regardless. And, thanks for listening. Bye.